Hi everyone, this is Tara Keffer of The Business of Balance, the place where women, and especially moms, come to find more balanced, joyful, and fulfilled lives through life and career coaching, yoga, and essential oils. Happy Friday and happy Mother's Day weekend. Since it is Mother's Day this weekend, I wanted to share a little bit of my parenting advice. I am by no means a parenting expert, that's for sure. I feel like I make my share of mistakes on a daily basis, but I will share a couple things that I have figured out now that I'm on my third child and what I do know to be true. So, and here's the main thing. So I recently went online and I did a free webinar through Positive Parenting Solutions, and then I bought their online course. And I haven't, to be honest, really taken the time yet to start going through the course. But what I know is that more important than taking a course or learning discipline tactics and all kinds of tools in your toolbox and all these tricks to use with your kids, that's all important. But before any of that can be useful, it's important to work on yourself as a parent. And actually, this Positive Parenting Solutions, that's one of the first things you do in the course is do a self-assessment of you as the parent and see kind of what you need to work on first, because most of the time when there's an issue with our kids, as much as we don't want to admit it, a lot of the time it's more about us than it is about them, because they're just little kids. We're the ones that need to be teaching them, and a lot of the time our frustration as adults and what we're going through gets portrayed on them, unfortunately. I mean, we take out our frustrations on those that are closest to us and that we spend the most time with, and as moms, a lot of the time that's our kids or maybe our husbands, but most of the time our kids more than anybody. And so it's up to us to get a lot of our internal stuff in check. And I think that is the most important thing we could do as moms, to make our relationships with our kids the best they could be. And then maybe once we have our own stuff kind of under control, it's never 100% under control, but if we're working on ourselves, then we could go to the courses and the tactics and the discipline tricks and use those. But those are basically going to be useless if we haven't worked on ourselves first. So what I would suggest is, again, it all goes back to self-care, and it goes back to taking care of yourself first, and the fact that is not selfish at all. I had a potential client once who decided not to pursue coaching because she thought, basically she thought it was selfish to focus on her, but really you need to fill your own cup first before you can help anybody else. And anything you do to be a healthier, happier person as a mom is going to benefit the people around you and make them happier and healthier too, probably, as a result. So again, for the self-care, it goes back to making sure you get a decent sleep. I mean, that's going to help your mood. That's going to help your interactions with your family, probably more than anything else, I would say. That should be number one priority, is getting a decent sleep and taking care of yourself. and finding time for you, finding time for date nights with your spouse, finding time to exercise, to journal or do meditation. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it could be just in small chunks. It could be a monthly date night. It could be, just making a point to sleep 7 hours at night. I mean, it's definitely doable. Again, there's always the time. It's about priorities. And what we prioritize is what we're going to do. And so I think once we have the self-care down, that is the number one thing that's going to translate into our parenting and allow us to be better able to cope with the challenges that are inevitably going to come up when raising small kids. And like I said last week on a different subject, but it still holds true here, is that it's less about what happens and it's more about our reaction to it. And by taking care of ourselves, it allows us to react more positively to the challenges that come up with our kids, and that just allows everybody to be in a happier and better place. So and besides that, a couple other things that I do know about parenting is that it's important to just kind of take it a day at a time, because it's easy, especially when the kids are little, to think that the challenges that we're going through it seems like they're never going to end. I mean, especially right now with a newborn, a week sometimes seems like an eternity, especially if you're up a lot at night and that kind of thing. It can seem like forever, and like time stands still sometimes. But the truth is that today's challenges are going to be gone tomorrow, and tomorrow there's going to be different challenges. So really the only thing we could do is take it a day at a time and not get caught up in, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to deal with this problem for the next year or the next 2 years, because you don't know. And there's always new problems, but there's always new adventures and new fun moments and fun memories to make when you're talking about raising kids also. And even though at times it seems like time is standing still, in the grand scheme of things, kids are little for such a small amount of time, a short amount of time, relatively speaking. So just enjoy those little moments. And I know with my newborn right now, because I know she's my last, I mean, I just try to memorize like her little face and her little body and her little feet and her fingernails and her hands, and because it's going to be like I blink my eyes and she's growing up. And so really just try to not sweat the small stuff and just enjoy and relish as much of it as you can. And when you do mess up, as you will, just forgive yourself and move on. I mean, that's the best thing to do. Don't beat yourself up. Don't overanalyze. Just pick yourself back up and move on. And by doing that, you're setting a good example for your kids too. And the last thing I'll say is that I've realized after almost 5 years of motherhood now that that really there's a lot of ways to do it right. And as long as you are true to what you believe is best for you and best for your family, you're doing the right thing. Whether you stay home, whether you work full-time, part-time, whether you breastfeed, formula feed, co-sleep, baby wear, or not, it's all the right answer if you're doing what feels right for you and what feels right for your family. And we need to stop comparing and just be confident in our own choices that we make. And as moms not judge each other, and we really need to support each other and build each other up more than we tear each other down, which unfortunately I feel like is not the case a lot of the time. So I will leave you with that. I hope everybody enjoys their Mother's Day weekend, and I hope you have some great time with your family and also some great time to yourself and time to take care of yourself. And as always, if you want to make a comment, feel free to do so below this video. And I would be grateful if you shared this video with your friends. And feel free to email me at Tara, T-A-R-A, at thebusinessofbalance.com if you have any questions for me about this video, my coaching, or my business. Thanks, and have a great weekend.